What up, what up? Welcome to Mr. Brown's class where there's no whining and no complaining. Today we're on lesson 35, adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing decimal numbers. Alright, so sometimes we have trouble with remember the rules for each of these. Okay, but it's not very difficult. Okay, so when we're adding and subtracting, we need to line up decimal places. We're going to take 3.6 okay, plus 0.36. So we have to put the decimal here in line, right? And then we have 36. Well, there's no decimal, but there's an imaginary one here at the end. We need to write that out front. Okay? Now we can add. All right, now we just go straight down. So there's an imaginary 0 there, imaginary 0. So 6. Here we have 6, 3, 0. That's 9. 3 and then a 0, right? And then we just have 3. So this is going to be 39 and 96 hundredths. Okay? Now, find the perimeter of this rectangle. Well, we know that perimeter equals 2 times L, that's 2 times W. Right? So it doesn't matter which ones are length and which ones are width. So 2 times 0.3 plus 2 times 0.2. Now, when we're multiplying, we don't have to line up the decimals. So 0.3 times 2 is 6, and then we have one decimal place, so it's 0.6. Here we have 2 times 0.2, be 4, one decimal place, 0.4. Alright, so we have 0.6 plus 0.4. Now this gets tricky right here. Okay, so 6 plus 4 is 0. We bring down the decimal place, we carry the 1. So 0.6 plus 0.4 equals just 1, because 1.0 is 1. Okay, let's work on subtraction. It's just like addition, we have to line up the decimal places. 0.3 now. There's the ones, decimal, 5, 6, 7. Now, this is a common mistake, not putting the placeholders. 0 placeholders up here. Okay? Makes a huge difference. So, I know you don't see the zeros there, but there's imaginary zeros out there. Okay, so we can't do 0 minus 7. 0 minus 6, no, we can't borrow. We have to borrow here. 2. Make that 10, but we have to borrow. That becomes 10. 10 minus 7 is 3. 9 minus 6 is 4. We can't do 2 minus 5, so we're going to have to borrow again. That becomes a 1. This is a 12. 12 minus 5 is 7. Bring down the decimal. Can't do 1 minus 4, but make that 11. 7. Okay? So make sure that we put the placeholders in there. Same thing here. This is 5.0. We can add as many zeros as we need. Minus 4.32. Decimals are lined up. Okay, we have to borrow. 10 minus 2 is 8. 9 minus 3 is 6. Bring down the decimal. 4 minus 4 is 0. Bada bing, bada boom. Okay, on this one we're going to find the area. We know that area equals length times width. We're going to take, now what I like to do when we're multiplying decimals is just take the longer number. We don't have to line up decimals. I like the longer number on top. 0.4 on bottom. Now, just treat it like it's normally 25 times 4. Alright, so that's 28. Now, here's the key. There's one decimal place, 2 more. So that means we have to move it over 3 spots. 1, 2, 3. So this would be 0.1. Alright? Here we have 0.03 times 0.03. Right? 3 times 3 is 9. 0. Okay? 0 times It's just going to be 0. We're wasting our time there. Okay. Now, we have 2 spots here, 2 spots there, so we have to go over 4 spots. 0.0009. Okay, now division, second number goes on the outside, just like normal. So 8 goes on the outside. Okay, the first number goes on the inside. So 8 goes in, we just bring up the decimal place. 8 goes in the 0, 0 times. Make sure you put that 0 there. 8 goes in the 1, 0 times. 8 goes in the 14 once. 8 goes in the 64 8 times. All right, so our answer is 0.0018. Okay, same thing here. 5 goes on the outside. 1.2 goes on the inside. 5 does not go in the 0. Bring up the decimal. 5 goes in the 12 twice. Now, when we keep going until we get the end of the decimal, we drop down the 0. 5 goes into 20 4 times. We get a remainder of 0. Our answer is 0.24. Everybody have a nice night. Remember, be more awesome.